I am not alone in facing a constant battle. Every day forced into the arena. Approaching is society, marching with a cause, exclaiming, "You must keep working to stay afloat. You must work harder and harder. No matter if you can no longer breathe, you must never stop." Opposing the raucous is me, a girl crouched down, cowering, my hands over my ears. I want to scream. I can't do this anymore. It's seemingly obvious how outnumbered I am. It feels like I have no choice. Join them or be crushed by them, a failure, accepting defeat. But that's when it dawns on me. There are never only two choices. I stand up, shaky at first, but the more I notice what I'm doing, the better I feel about it. I turn away from the noise and begin to walk. As I do, I take notice of everything that surrounds me. Each blade of grass, every small shell, the tiny creatures that make up our world, the sounds and smells. With every step I take, I notice something new. And I hasten to add I'm walking slowly, each step as deliberate as the last. I know that eventually the mob will reach me. I'll be absorbed amongst them, their jeers and taunts surrounding me, the humdrum of shoulds and shouldn'ts, merely a white noise to do nothing other than notice. And to my amazement, I'm still walking, a step at a time. Many overtake me, and there are times where I feel completely alone, but occasionally I bump into someone walking at the same pace as me. We know where we are going, and we're doing it our way, living more consciously, more intentionally, making time for the things that matter and never accepting that there is only one way to succeed. Hello everyone, my name's Emma, for those of you who don't know me, and this week I wanted to talk about something that's very important to me and something that I've been working on a lot over the last, I want to say, year, and that is slowing down, as you can probably tell from the intro of this video. I've actually tried to film this video once already, and there was a bunch of things that happened, but essentially it ended up with me filming the entire thing not in focus. Today is not going to plan at all. I wanted to go for a swim in the sea, but obviously I'm an idiot and didn't check the tide time, so it's literally low tide until like 3 o'clock is high tide. So I tried to go and have a walk around to a bit that sticks out closer to the sea, but unfortunately I bumped into a woman. I've chatted to a lot of people this morning because I don't know, people are asking why I have a camera. And this woman, I was asking her like, "Oh, do you think I can go swimming there?" And she said, "Oh, I don't know, like a woman just got stuck in the sea, like when it was low tide further around where the mud was too thick." And I thought, okay, well, I'll go and check it out. And obviously I went and did a little test, but it was quite sinky. See ya! It was just like, got home and looked at it and thought, this is such a shame because it was so pretty. It was really early morning, so the lighting was just pretty and it was like the beach. And anyway, you'll have to make do with me in my flat. And yes, the sun is going in and out, so I don't really have control over the lighting. So I apologise for that. But hopefully, at least I'll be in focus because I've decided I'm turning off autofocus and I'm just trying to do this my way. And yeah, maybe it will make for a slightly better video. So yeah, as you could probably tell from the little thing that I wrote in the intro, I'm kind of incorporating ways of slowing down in my life while still trying to strive for a very fast-paced career. If you guys don't already know me, I am trying to make a career as an actor, and that's obviously a very fast-paced industry, and I guess these are the ways that I've been kind of trying to slow down. But obviously this is relevant to so many careers because society literally basically forces you to keep going, and it just feels like there's a lot of pressure on all of us and to have everything figured out and to be constantly working, and it's actually just so bad. Like, we all know this. I'm not saying anything revolutionary, but I just think sometimes it's nice to talk about it and nice to hear it. So yeah, without further ado, I wanted to talk a little bit more about the things that I've been doing to slow down. Also, I feel like super serious when I do videos like this because I'm usually like just taking the piss all the time. So hopefully you can bear with me, and yeah, we can have a little bit more of a deeper vibe. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, I've written everything down and I think we should just hop into it. So the first thing on my little list that I've been doing is making time for the little things. So obviously when you're trying to do a career, there's only so much you can deviate from it before you're just not going to have any chance of making any success and getting where you need to be. You do have to work, unfortunately. There's kind of like, you know, it's trying to find the balance between working really hard and pushing everything into that career, but also making time to stop. And one way that I find is really useful is the little things. I think that's where it actually makes the biggest difference, rather than trying to take like full days of self-care where you don't see anyone and you just focus on yourself. Like, it's actually, if you just have daily things where you're doing small little things that are good for you and slowing you down, I think that makes a bigger difference, in my opinion. So things that I've written is like going on a walk, burning some incense, cooking yourself a nice meal, reading a page from a book, watching a movie, just putting your phone down for a little bit, going out and seeing a friend for like a drink or a coffee. They're just little things that you can do in a day that just adds something, like slows you down from just going at a million miles per hour without taking a break. And they're all things that are nice and enjoyable and pleasant and we should be doing more of. And it kind of feels like a lot of the time we all say, I don't have time to do that. And I think that's just the stupidest sentence ever, because a lot of the time you do. It's just about reshuffling, reprioritizing. Yeah, you might have to sacrifice some things, but when you say you don't have time for something, that's usually saying you don't want to make time for something, and that's different. So yeah, I think even just for the little things, like making time to go on a walk in a day, or making time to like make yourself a nice cup of tea before you do anything else, or whatever it is, just little things matter. And those are the little things that you can do all the time that kind of just complement your day to day, and it just makes things feel calmer, it makes things feel slower when you take additional steps to do things. So yeah, that's something that I have found really works well for me. Another one which kind of links to this is forcing yourself to stop. Like actually just being like, right, you need to stop working now. I'm self-employed, I have a fully remote, flexible, part-time job and also acting work. And there can be times where I literally am just working on my laptop from the second I wake up until like stupid o'clock in the evening. Like Els will have gone to bed, I'm still there doing something else, like boom, 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 and just not stopping, and then the next day doing the same thing again. And it just can be so compounding over time, and sometimes you actually just need to say, right, laptop is shut, I'm done. It's this time, I'm done. Whatever it is, even if you're only stopping for like a break, just actually learning how to stop. Because otherwise I feel like I had those voices in my head being like, oh, but you should be doing more, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, whoa, actually, it's okay to take 10-minute break here. I think you'll live. Do you know what I mean? And I think the more you do it, even if you're just stopping for a little bit at first, the more you do it, the more you see that actually it helps you when you're doing the work. You're more productive and more focused, but also you're better rested. So yeah, actually just stopping sometimes is really good, and that slows me down. So even though some of these things are so common sense, I just feel like it's so easy to not do them. So here's your reminder to stop what you're doing sometimes and actually just take a minute. That's important. Another thing is letting yourself feel bored. I've heard a lot of people talking about this recently, and it is so true, because we are so quick to jump to doing something else if we feel bored, like whether that's going on social media, whether that's, I don't know, like trying to go out and do something, like whatever it is, like we can't sit and just not feel anything. And actually, I find that when you are bored, the best ideas come to you, or you get more inspired to do things. Like, I don't know, I remember like being a teenager, like I'd be bored a lot, and then I would go and watch a really cool movie, or I don't know, I would just do something more interesting than sitting like doom scrolling because I was bored. I don't know, does that even make sense? I just think that as social media and stuff has gotten more and more, and the way that it works, because it used to literally just be that you would share stuff from your friends and you would see what your friends have posted. If no one's posting, there's nothing to see, and you would just be like, okay, cool, and you wouldn't go on it anymore. Whereas now there's just constant overload of stuff to like basically entertain you all the time. And I think it's important to just sometimes be like, no, actually, instead of going on Instagram and, you know, satisfying that craving, just sit in it. just sit in the boredom for a second, and I think that's actually really good for you. It slows you down, stops you doing things that are not so good for your brain, and I don't know, I like it. I'm following that piece of advice from whoever I heard that from, probably on Instagram. God, it's so ironic. And this one is kind of the opposite, but still I think very valuable, is to have hobbies. I am a big advocate of having as many hobbies as your heart desires. I have a stupid amount of hobbies. I love learning new things. I love doing something completely different, especially creative things that are just completely out of your like normal day-to-day job and what you're striving for. You don't even have to be good at it. It's not about that. It's about genuinely just switching off and making time to do something else that provides you joy. Simply, that is all it has to do, is you have to enjoy it. I have a lot of like more crafty hobbies. I also really enjoy some outdoorsy things, and I think just having a good mixture of stuff that you can do. Like, let's say you are bored and you don't want to sit in it, fine, do a hobby. Like, just it enriches your life so much more than just only thinking about work and trying to do the next best thing. Like, I really genuinely try to give myself time to, I don't know, I really like making clothes, for example. That feeling that you get when somebody's like, oh my God, I really love your top, and you're like, oh, thank you, I made it. Like, that's such a good feeling. And if you don't make time for that kind of stuff, like, what else have you got other than your job? And I think that's important. It's like, we are going to be on this planet for however long we get to be alive for, and if the only thing you can come away from it is that you say, I worked really hard, and that's it, your life must be, like, that's just depressing to me. That's just a really depressing thought. So I just think it's good to have hobbies and make time for them, you know? So that's another one. Another thing that I think that really forces me to slow down, that I've been doing a lot more, is making things feel special, even just like the little things, taking that extra time to make it feel like it's something really special. And I was particularly inspired by my friend Ellie for this one, because she has a really good habit of doing this, and I think it's something that everyone should do more. But the example I'm thinking of is one time I'd gone over to hers and we were going to go for a walk in the woods to look at the bluebells and just have like a nice time, and she really wanted to take like a picnic mat and a flask of like chai tea and like just like make it a bit more of like a vibe, do you know what I mean? And then she couldn't find her flask, so I was like, oh, it's alright, like, why don't we just go? And she was like, no, I'm gonna look for it, I'm gonna find it. So she took the extra time, I don't know however long it was, like maybe an extra 5 minutes, where I would have just said, oh, well, let's just go because we've said we were going to do this. So me being like, okay, well, we said we are going to do this, so let's just do this. But then by the time she found a flask and whatever, it taken a bit longer, and then we still went and did it, and it made it so much nicer, and it made it feel so much more special, having the nice little tea and having the little picnic rug and just having like something, I don't know, that she just made it feel so nice. And it only took an extra, 5-10 minutes. But just putting that effort in, like saying, we're not in a rush here, let's just actually make this a nice experience, just makes such a massive difference. And it forces you to slow down because you have to do extra things in order to make something feel special or feel nicer. So that's been a really big one that I've been trying to incorporate more. Like, any chance I've got an opportunity to make something feel a bit more fun, special in whatever way, like, I will go to the effort of doing that, knowing that even though it's going to take me longer to do it, I would rather do that and really fully enjoy the experience than just be trying to rush through life and not making the most of things in the way that you can. I don't know, does that make sense? The next one is something I kind of feel blessed with doing regardless, because I get very easily distracted, but noticing things. I feel like no one really stops to actually look at the things you notice. Like, sometimes you see something, it's really cool, you should just stop and actually look at it. Don't just be like, oh yeah, cool, and keep walking past. Like, stop and look at it, notice it. What is it? Why did it interest you? Ask questions about it, talk about it, Google it afterwards, whatever it is. Like, I don't know, if you saw a cool bird and you don't know what type of bird it is, actually look at it. What features does it have, so you can Google it later? Maybe take a photo so you can be like, what bird is this? And then you can tell someone, oh my God, I saw a grebe. Cool. I don't know, shit like that. I just think that's really important. I think there's like a phrase about, I'm really bad at, I'm really like notoriously bad for phrases like idioms. I'm just like, I mix them all up. I genuinely, none of them sound real to me anyway. I'm just rubbish at it. But there is something about stopping to smell the roses, right? That is a phrase. And it's true. Like, when was the last time you walked past some roses and actually stopped to smell them? I mean, I do it all the time because I think they smell nice, but it's something that I think is really important and really does actually force you to slow down, because if you're, I'm rush, I'm going to get to the next place, doing this thing, whatever, but you saw something cool, so go and look at it. Take it in. It just makes you feel a lot more grounded, a lot more present in the world, and it's such a like easy thing to do, and it doesn't add that much time to your day, but it does give you that process of slowing down and being more conscious. This one is very obvious, everybody knows this, but journaling and gratitude, very good ways of forcing yourself to slow down. I love journaling. I journal all the time. I'm always writing something. I think it is so good for your brain. There's already a billion videos and a billion people telling you that you should do it. So I'll be the billionth and one. Yeah, I don't, okay, whatever. I'll be that person and I'll say you should do it if you don't do it already. It's so good for clearing your brain. It just takes time in the morning or in the evening or whenever you decide you want to do it. It takes a bit of time, so it's slowing you down. And especially if you add gratitude in there, you could be having like the shittest day or the shittest period of time. Like, it happens. Life could be really shit sometimes. But doing those simple gratitude things just really helps you get through the day, really just helps you stay calm and reminds you like, okay, even if all this is really shit, X, Y, and Z, whatever, that at least I've got this, or at least I've got that. And it just is enough to kind of like, yeah, keep you slowly going if you are going through a bad time. And if you're not, having the gratitude is like, my life is great, and it makes you feel good, and that's also lovely. So I think that's a really nice way to just like slow down and like just think about your life. Also, when you're journaling, you can write about, you know, reflect on things, and it's just a good way to understand yourself. And yeah, I don't know, I'm just big advocate. And the last one is to go outside. I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, but I work from home, and sometimes I can find myself having just sat at my my desk, looking at my computer all day, not left the house, was busy, stressed, kind of like had to just do something. And you can go a bit crazy. Like, you need to go outside. Like, even better if you can go outside somewhere really pretty and naturey, but if not, I know that's a privilege. If not, and you're just going outside, walking through, I don't know, the high street or the roads where you live and the houses and whatever, that shit's good for you. We all know it. Deep breaths, that's nice, fresh air, and just like taking in the surroundings, unlocking yourself from whatever it was you were doing. And yeah, just, I don't know, it takes up amount of time, especially if you go on a little walk, that takes a little bit of time. These are all things that I just think are very good for slowing you down and just making you feel better. So again, as I said, a lot of this is common sense, but it's just stuff I've been thinking about recently, and sometimes it's nice to kind of just like talk about one thing. But yeah, those are all the things I've kind of been thinking about recently, and things that I've been implementing into my own life. And yeah, just generally I'm trying so much harder to live a more intentional, more conscious life. And I think it can feel really challenging and overwhelming when you're trying to do a career that expects you to be so fast-paced and just on it all the time. Just making time to actually slow down within that is the most important thing, because you just don't want to burn out. You need to like keep refueling yourself, and that's not going to happen if you're constantly burning the stick at both ends, burning the candle at both ends. What is that one? If anyone wants to give me like an idiom dictionary, like, I'd be really grateful for that. So feel free. So that's kind of everything that I wanted to talk about today. I hope that you enjoyed this style of video. It is a little bit different. I am usually joking around a bit more, but sometimes it's nice to just like get like into it, you know? And yeah, I hope this was in focus. I'll be so upset if it wasn't. But other than that, if you did enjoy, please make sure to give it a like and subscribe. We are not far off from 1,500, I think, which is super cool and yeah, really awesome. So if you guys want to see more from me, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Okay, bye. Okay. I've got to hope that this is in focus.